So today we're gonna freeze dry some bananas. So we got our parchment paper from Costco and we have it lined on the trays. Doesn't quite fit, so we just did an extra little add-on piece. The reason why we have the parchment paper on is because it has high sugar content, so it'll stick on the trays otherwise. So we're just going to peel the bananas like normal. You can put the whole banana on if you wanted to, just like this, but it's going to take a lot longer to freeze dry. You would need to do all the bananas the same way, otherwise you won't have a consistency in the trays. We're going to do just banana slices, so we're going to have consistent size slices. We're doing about like that. And then we can put them on the trays nice and close together like that. And I have a helper here today. I'm going to help load the trays up all nice and close. Okay, I'm going to take those. So we got the bananas all laid out here. As you can see, they are all very close together. That's totally fine. They're not going to expand. They're going to stay the same size. I prefer not to layer them so it can equally dry properly. Otherwise you will be having to move all the bananas around and constantly be taking it in and out of the freeze dryer. This will be a good consistency because they're all very similar in size and not overlapping. And now we're ready to put in the freeze dryer. So if you come and look at the screen here, it says to load the food. So that means the cooling process has happened in the freeze dryer. So there's a valve over on the side here. Just gonna make sure it's closed. So that would be open and that's closed. And then it says to load the food, so I'm gonna put the bananas in. Let it in. Close, lock the chamber, and press continue for it to continue to freeze. As you can see, the bananas are all done. I took them out of the freeze dryer. When you break them, it's a crunchy texture. The settings I had in the freeze dryer, every freeze dryer is very different. There's lots of different variables depending on what you have in there, the thickness of the product, where your freeze dryer is located, if the food's room temperature, pre-frozen. You can play around with all the settings. So for the bananas, what I did was I did an extra 4 hours of freeze time and an extra 6 hours of extra dry time. You can play around with that. It's totally up to you. A lot of trial and error. And for reconstitution, I don't really like to reconstitute the bananas. It doesn't come out exactly the same. But I do like to stick it in the blender and grind it up for baby food. You can throw it in your baking. It works great. We're going camping, so we're not gonna pack it in the Mylar bags because we're gonna eat it this weekend. So I'm just putting it in a little Tupperware because it'll be gone probably by tomorrow. You taste it, you hear the crunchy, and it tastes just like a banana chip, like the dehydrated ones, but not chewy. It's really good. Kids love them.